Hello everyone, this is Mubarak Ali Khan. I hope all of you are enjoying good health. Respected listeners, today I'm back with my crew. And we have that lady over here, her name is Miss Faiza. And she is courageous enough that in this lion and tiger world, she is nominating herself to be my victim today. And she will be helping us to improve our IELTS speaking. Most importantly, it's going to be an IELTS mock as we conduct already. And I'll be asking some questions from her. And we are starting in 3 seconds formally. Are you good to go?
Yes, sir.
So, Miss Faiza, how do you introduce yourself to me?
Hello, this is Faiza Khushi from Islamabad. Currently, I am working in a telecom sector as a project manager. I have started taking classes in GSL in December. The basic reason was to get my IELTS clear with the required band to get a Canadian visa. IELTS is a basic requirement for getting Canadian immigration, so that's why I started taking classes. But I don't want to get failed in my first attempt.
All right. So moving into it now, it's going to be for next 11 to 14 minutes. Part 1 is going to be, I would like to have 3 to 4 phrase answers in part 1. Part 2, I'll be giving you a cue card. You'll prepare on that for 1 minute and you'll speak on that for 2 minutes. And part 3, most importantly, there will be some discussion-based questions based upon part 2. Okay?
Right.
In the beginning, the examiner actually asks about the ID card or something. Since you're far from me, so it's okay. I understand that you are there. As well as he talks about his examiner number, tries to know about your candidate number, and that's how this started. Okay? So starting with you, and my topic with you would be about plants. Are we good to go?
Yes, sir.
So my first question is, do you like plants?
Yes, plants are the basic structure and fundamental basics of life. They help us to keep our breathe, our sinus system clear. Like plants absorb carbon dioxide from the environment and also radiate oxygen, which help us. Plants, either it's vegetable or a wild plant, they are helpful to us, to everybody, to animal or the human.
Point taken, ma'am. What sort of plants have you grown?
Well, in my garden, I have planted a few chilies, garlic, mint, some basic plants which are needed to be added in the recipes for our daily cooking.
Okay. So why do people like plants in their homes?
Like I said, plants are the basic principle of life. They are helpful for cooking, for breathing, and also they make our environment clean.
Okay. So would you ever give a plant as a gift? If yes, then why?
Yes, I would love to give some plants to my friends as a gift. For example, chilies or the garlic, because they are the basic requirements of food for cooking. My basics are.
All right, point taken. This is the end of part 1. Moving on towards part 2 now, which says, describe a plant, flower, or tree that you like. You may make your notes if you wish to.
Yes.
I'm starting your timer with me here, and your timer has just been started. 1 minute with you. All right, Ms. Faiza, moving on towards the speaking part 2. You got 2 minutes to talk about it, and your timer has just been started.
Okay, the plant I like. I like mint plant. It's usually grown over the floor, over the land level. It's not a tree, not a plant which grows above the level. It's the most perfect plant to be harvested at the homes, in the corner of the kitchens, everywhere it can be employed. Also, it helps us to make some mojitos, mint drinks, lemonades, or ice creams, anything, chutney. Especially chutneys, mint chutneys are very tastier and essential. But actually, it looked like it's just like a tiny, about 1 inch leaf. Sometimes it's smaller, but sometimes there are some kinds of mint leaves. Uh, Wild mint leaves are especially used for kawas, which clears the throats for coughing. Um, like I said, there are types of mint plants. So the wild mint plant is grown over the mountains, sometimes mountain tops. In extreme conditions, in extreme seasons, they can be planted. This is the most easiest plant to be grown anywhere, in any season. So I like to plant it. And
All right. You want to speak more?
No.
Okay. Moving on towards part 3 now. And it is based upon part 2 as I talked about already. So is it common for people to have gardens where you live?
Yes, nowadays CD also have marked the plot sizes and the architecture. So this is almost the basic requirement to construct your home, to free and acquire some space for the gardens. So if we talk about the society areas, yes, it is necessary and conditional to make a place for gardens. And if we talk about village areas, most people in village, they love to plant their own almost every kind of vegetable. So yes.
Okay. So do you think it is important to have gardens or parks in your cities? Why?
Gardens are needed in every home, like I said, because of the CDA requirement. Also in the village areas, people love to make gardens. Talking about the parks are necessary for children as well as for the families to make themselves relax in the evening, take walks, take joggings. Parks help in getting the exercises, regular exercises done in either in evening or noon. And for children, it is very important to have them get their bodies stretched and get their mind relaxed.
Ms. Faiza, your point is taken. Moving on towards next question. What plants are important to the economy of your country?
Okay, the plants which are important for the economy of my country. Some basic trees are the basic requirement, so that we can cover the expanded ozone layers, and we can reduce the pollution, any kind of pollution, either it's noise or smoke. Trees would be helpful for my country's economy.
All right, my last question from you, and then we'll be done with the mock. Why is it important to conserve the world's plant species?
There are many species of plants which are getting dead or lost. So, in order to reserve them, to reserve the species which are already dying or lost, we need to maintain some process and reservations for those unrecognized and for the species which most of the people are not aware of. So it is necessary to take action.
All right, it calls for the end of this mock. Moving on towards our feedback now.
Thank you, sir.
Would like to take your feedback from you first. How was it?
A little confident, much nervous.
All right, wow. So you have given us all. A little confident and much nervous.
Much nervous.
You see, Sufyan? Yes. That's how the things are. So what would you say about her speaking part?
I think he's a good speaker.
She.
Okay. And she thinks you're not a good speaker. Alright, no problem. So she's a good speaker.
And she is fluent in other parts.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
that's it.
That's it? Alright, so it's just for all of you now. What do you think about her?
Well, I like her fluency in English and I like her idea about plants. I would love to add mint in my home too, and I just like your confidence and the way you handle your nervousness. Appreciate it.
Wow, this is positive, right? Alright, so Tariq Saab, since you were kind of taking care of my notes as well.
Well, I'm shocked. She did better than my expectation.
Wow.
She has a wide range of vocabulary. She spoke fluently. I would say the opposite. She was very confident and there was no nervousness. I did not see in her face. But there were some mistakes. In part 1, she did not mention about her hometown.
Okay.
In part 2, she mentioned mint chutney. Instead, she could have said mint sauce.
My point is gone. You just
You
copied my
should
point.
kind of-
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright,
And
great, very
in
good.
part 3, the first question was not related, the first answer was not related to the question. It was about
Please.
is it common for people to have gardens where you live and you
Okay.
talk about other places?
Again, that's
when you
answer.
are- That's all.
Very good.
Overall, it went really well.
So you want to clap for her now?
Yes, I will definitely
All right, I'll
clap
give
for her,
you that.
and I will certainly invite you guys to clap for her together.
We are invited, yeah. Definitely.
Thank you.
Alright, a good aspirer though you got, and he has spoken almost to the point. I do have my kind of concerns about he says a wide range of vocabulary. We can discuss it towards my feedback. Who else would like to give the feedback now? Sure. Yes, you. Yeah, I think you want to speak.
So overall she is good and has vocabulary is also good, grammar and fluency.
Tell her.
And her fluency is also good, and I can take moment and his coherence sentence is also good. There is no negative point.
Very good. So actually her spoken is very good and your pronouns are very bad, by the way.
Thank you.
His for a lady, right? Anyhow. Yeah, over to you, Amir. What would you like to say?
I think she discussed with main idea of plant, like 3 main ideas that she spoke in her talk. So I think her fluency in English is very good.
Positive.
Yes, he's very positive.
Alrighty, before we move on, I would like to take your feedback. If you were the examiner, so which band would you have allotted her or given her? Oh, starting from you. Just one answer. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 9.
In my opinion, 7 band.
7 bands. Quite generous you are. Sir.
7.5.
Wow. Positive.
6.5.
6.5. Quite to the point. Sir. 6. Okay. I reserve my ideas for now. Sir.
Sir, I will give her 6.5.
6.5.
6.5.
Are you giving her some wild eggs or the bands?
But I'm adding half point more 7
Wow.
because she has a lot of knowledge about plants.
That's positive. So what do you think? Shall we give you 30 more seconds? So you reach 8 bands?
Just why not?
Alrighty. Yes, beta. What would you give to
7.
7? We are so generous people, you see. Getting 7 is a piece of cake nowadays. Sir.
6.
Because everyone was giving 7 and was getting criticized. Yeah.
5, 6.
5, 6, total 11. You're giving 11 bands to her?
11.
Alright, so she got 11 out of 9. This is positive. Aliyan.
Yes.
Mohsin.
7.5.
Please show Mohsin to the world now. Yes, Mohsin.
7.5.
7.5. And sir, you?
7.
7. You?
6.
Oh, very good. And what do you give yourself?
5.5.
And behind the camera we have Bilal. Bilal, what are you giving to her?
I'd say 5.5 is perfect.
5.5. Bilal is quite critical, you see. All right, thank you very much for your feedback, first of all. Moving on towards kind of technical thing. First of all, I'm quite glad that you started it very well. You took the pressure and you played with that very well. If you could not have said that you were nervous, none of us could have judged it. Okay, we were quite like happy with the performance overall you were giving. And surely, it's not a racist or sexist remark at all, but still being a female in front of all the giants like us, so you had been performing very well, and I really appreciate it. And you deserve a very good clap for that, first of all. So you need to clap for her, I guess. Yeah. And then coming to the technical thing now, part one, the intro went well. You were speaking for length. Sometimes they don't ask much about it, but you see the person, when he or she is checking your ID or something, meanwhile they say that introduce yourself, and then they keep checking, collecting, setting their paper. So it's fine to keep speaking till they don't stop you. Otherwise, they just go with the specific thing that who do you have with me, or why are you taking IELTS, such kind of basic questions they ask.
Right.
About do you like plants, it went well. Initially, I guess that this concept was somehow gone from the mind, I don't know. When I said, do you like plants, you said yes, and then you could not connect with the question for some no reason, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Your eye contact was very good throughout, by the way. You were looking at the examiner, as well as I didn't find you camera shy or something, because it is happening quite often, okay. And besides, for all of you, once you are there to the mock, it's not the case, or the real test, it's not the case that there are these many examiners available and they're noting down everything you're uttering. So it is very smooth over there. So if you survive in front of this crew, so it means this crew, you okay?
Yes, sir.
So what happens eventually that you can surely survive in front of that one sweet lady normally we have. 90% there we have female examiners over there. Then I would talk about some second or third question about the range of vocabulary he mentioned. You were mentioning plants as plants throughout. So what other words could you guys give her to use instead of plants? Because plants was the head word, and make sure the head word is supposed to be rephrased as much as you can, or try giving the maximum what shall I say, synonymous words you could give to it. So what could be that other than plants?
Could it be forest?
Forest.
But
Okay.
forest is a wide range of plants.
It's a wide range of plants. Okay, what else can we think of?
Vegetation.
Vegetables.
Yeah, vegetation is a positive word.
Bushes.
Flowers,
Bushes.
bushes. Well, they have their own semantic feel now. The plants, the bushes, the vegetation, they have their own flavors and aura.
Yes.
Once you think that you do not have an appropriate same replacement of the word, you give some other word and then you connect it with the plants. For example, you could go with the vegetation and plants, could go with the other word you said just now,
Bushes.
bushes and the plants, and then forestries and whatsoever you mentioned. We call it nursery as well.
Yes.
That is exact word for plants as well, by the way. So
Okay.
there we have small plants, no big trees. They
Okay.
take off and give you,
Okay.
take it home. So these are nurseries basically.
Nurseries.
So it could have been taken care of. Could have been some meadows, short meadows.
Oh, yes.
Okay, it also could have been something else. For example, some
Fields?
smelling gardens.
Smelling garden?
Yeah, smelling gardens.
Right?
Where we have only flowers.
Okay.
A short one, maybe on the back orchard quite often.
Okay.
Okay. So that could have been taken care of. Then I would say, moving on to the second part, you prepared well. I could see that you wrote. And with 1 minute you prepared, and then I said that, okay, it's time to speak. You were still trying to complete that. Mind you all that whatsoever you write over there, the spellings matter, and in the end they take that sheet from you on whichsoever you prepare. So yeah, so it matters, your spellings over there. Do not write half sentence or do not become doctors, that you write what you write in a reptilic way. I would say this word for intention.
So just add the points.
At the points,
One word or
try making a bell curve or something, try making a straight vertical line, and then try giving it branches, the way we have branches of the plants, so that you keep giving the tips to it, and then you just connect it throughout. What will happen eventually that you won't miss any of these points which are given to you. Taking all the points helps you achieving your task basically. Achieving the task helps you improving your vocabulary as well as the band bank. Okay. And then when I said band bank, such kind of words like alliteration, they give a good kind of flavor or aroma to your speaking. Okay, for example, Coca-Cola, Junaid Jamshed, Baba Baba Black Sheep or something. So such kind of words, if you think you could add for a music or rhythm, that's another variety you have.
Okay.
And intentionally try putting, Tarek,
Yes.
intentionally try putting some uncommon adjectives so that you see that you have a great range of vocabulary. Okay, for example, when I listen to your words, when it was some tough word, you don't know the equivalent word into English, you were just appropriating the language. As he has stolen from me, the only one he could dare to do that. That was the chutney thing you mentioned. As well as you mentioned kawas.
Sir, and I intentionally did that because these
Okay.
are the most famous words in other countries other
This
than
is
Pakistan.
positive. This is positive. But once we say something like that, okay, we also try explaining it that this is a local concept over here.
Okay.
Okay, for example, a kawa for a tree or a green tea or something. So we actually tell it that we have used it. This is what we call language appropriation
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
Yes.
For example, I say gulab jamun. So I have to give a kind of thing that what it looks like. So we give description of it.
Okay.
Or maybe there are some concepts, for example, some word samosa. This is not their word, and we put it. So we tell it that okay, it's our word which is being derived or being taken by them.
Okay.
Maybe veranda, like veda we call that in
Yeah.
other languages
Other
too,
languages and
or maybe
veranda.
chapati. So they are the words they have taken it.
Yes.
But these words they have their equivalent words too. So
Yes.
that could
We
happen.
should avoid these words. Maybe the examiner is not familiar with these words.
True, but if we don't do that, we are showing our variety. We can show that, but we need to just tell it that okay, why did I see that? A little
Okay.
hooker of it.
Okay.
I think I am dragging it so much, but just last 1 minute with you. Bus last. I could listen to the word it helped, maybe slip of tongue, but then I also listened to the word it with no s or es added in the verb. So that's a basic thing you have to avoid.
Yes, sir.
You were quite specific. You see, the question when it was being asked from you, you said
Yes.
CDA.
Yes.
What is CDA? Maybe we know,
Okay.
or maybe we don't know.
Yes.
CDA, worldly it is known as critical discourse analysis, by the way, to all the people who are linguists or grammarians, such people. So they say, okay, so critical discourse analysis, how would they help to grow the plants? So our CDA is Capital Development Authority, but that is in the capital only. So it could have been explained, or could have said some other words. It could have been said on CDA, RDA, PDA, FDA, there are many. Could have said that any private cantonment or regular body could help it. It could have been more better. You okay?
Yeah, fine.
About the plants, economy and plants, there you were not clear.
I have no idea.
You had no idea about that, you see. What was happening eventually that you gave me the trees. I thought, what will happen to the trees if they are being exported exactly the whole tree is going in a ship?
Okay, that's the point actually.
Okay. And then you said about the ozone layer. I said, how ozone will help us improve our economy? Maybe getting some dollars from ozone layer which has some kind of space or something. So these were the things, and I really appreciated the you had throughout. The connector you had, okay, and you were enjoying that. But when at the same time when you had a question and you don't know the answer, you were repeating the whole question all the way again. You could have put me in trouble. Could have asked me that, for example, the last question. Why is it important to conserve the world's plant species? Let's say you don't know that. Could have asked me to, because throughout you haven't said that you had a lifeline to say, can you please rephrase the question? It could have put me in trouble too. Yeah? Say it again.
Could you say that in other words?
Oh yes, it could also be a phrase you could have used. I could have been in trouble, and maybe you have understood the question, you could have got your thinking time,
Okay.
or maybe time stalling thing. To cut a long story short, Miss Faiza, if you will speak like this, you will be able to get 6.5. Sorry for trolling you so much.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
that was part of my plan. Thank you very much for being my listeners today. All of you are sitting here, the people behind the camera, the people we have behind this room, as well as the people who are disturbing from the door back there. We appreciate your efforts, that you tried your level best to give her 7.5, your generosity. Overall, if you speak like that for obvious reasons, you will get 6.5 if I could have been your examiner. And make sure that I won't be your examiner. I'm a strict one, by the way. Thank you very much, guys. That was Mubarak Ali Khan. Say bye to my camera, please. Bye-bye. We'll see you some other day. God bless Pakistan. God bless America. This